we just finna talk about a whole lot of shit. It's what I'm opinion, but we just finna talk about a whole lot of shit. But anyway, what's up, y'all? Get the waves in, you know what I'm saying? But we finna just talk about, I guess, the stages of life, right? Like, I guess, like, people want to talk about other worlds or dimensions or galaxies or whatever you want to call it, right? People want to, what's the words for all this, right? But it's breaking it down into three different sections, right? So everybody heard of, like, the three theory, right? So, like, 3, 6, 9, right? And then after that, it repeats 3, 6, 9, 12, and then it adds together. So if you go 3, 6, 9, right, and then you go to 12. So what's 12? That's 1, 2. So 1 plus 2 is what? 3. So then that repeats the cycle, right? So then you, after 12, you go to what? 15, right? And then you add 1 plus 5 and you get what? 6. So then it repeats the cycle. And then what's after 15? 18. So then you do what? 1 plus 8. So that gets what? 9. So everybody's heard of this theory, right? So it's the same way you could break down life. Everything is in a, like, representation. Before things come into the physical, or like what you could physically see, there has to be over worlds or over dimensions or whatever you want to call it that kind of puppet string this one. So the more you understand that one, the more you understand this one. You know how to, that's what manifestation is bringing things, the unseen, and then making it happen here, right? We are all manifesting. We are all currently manifesting. Everything has been manifested, right? Everything that you see is a manifestation of something. Everything has an energy signature behind it. So when you're conscious, right, that's the problem with being conscious. When you're conscious, you're so worried about what's being seen. So that right there doesn't allow you to actually understand the energy signature behind it. So you don't know how to create things for yourself. You get what I'm saying? You kind of just see what it is. You don't see what's behind it, the root of things. You get what I'm saying? That's what it's all about. It's about getting to the root of things, not being lost in, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you notice everything. You understand, right? Everything has an energy signature behind it, from a table in front of you to a drink to a person, right? You can look at people. Is what it means to see through people, right? Because your mind, it has to be programmed in a certain way for you to even have certain mannerisms, for your voice to be certain ways, to have certain vocal inflections, to like I said, how you move, your mannerisms, how you talk. All this is all derived from how your mind has programmed. You know what I'm saying? How you've programmed your mind, right? So just by understanding that, you can see through. You can see what programs certain people might be under, right? Why certain people move in certain ways. So it's like the physical existence could be like the accent that you have, right? The physical existence is like the accent that you have, and then why you have this accent is your birthplace, if that makes sense, metaphorically speaking. So your birthplace would be like, right, what the energy signature behind the physical existence. Everything has that. So when you see beyond the physical existence, you get what I'm saying? You understand it, right? You've been seeing 22 and 33 a lot. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, numbers, numerology. Every number has a meaning behind it. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, that definitely probably means something if you keep seeing those repeating numbers. I can get into that later, but I won't break this down. But like, so it's understanding that, right? So everything is threes. So you have what? You have baby, kid, adult, right? Baby, kid, adult. And then you have what? The water, the seed, and then the flower, right? You have the ground, the sky, outer space, right? You have the cocoon, the caterpillar, the butterfly. You get what I'm saying? Everything is in threes. Everything has 3 stages. And then you could break that down even more, and then you can break that 3 into a 6, right? So that would be the basic manifestation of life. You have to understand the baby first, and then the kid, and then the adult will be the actual existence of this, right? So the baby would be the before it gets brought into existence, right? And then the kid would be, right, the building of this before it gets built into existence. And then you would have the adult, that would be the heaviest form, right? And then that would be the physical representation of it. 666 is No. I mean, what is evil? If you really think about it, 666 isn't evil. What is evil? What is evil, and what is a villain and what's a hero? You know what I'm saying? Everything is really one and the same, just displayed in two different ways. You get what I'm saying? So it's just displayed on how you see it, right? There's definitely evil, right? There's definitely evil, but that evil could actually have a positive, if you get what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, boom. So you have the baby, the kid, the adult, right? So this is the manifestation before it gets brought into existence, right? So the more you understand this, the more you understand how to manifest things. That's what manifestation means. So when you break down the baby, kid, adult, you can break that into a 6, right? That's the 3. So you can break the 3 into a 6. So you would have what? The embryo, the baby, the kid, the teenager, the adult, and then the elder. So now we're just breaking it down even more. So right, so that would be the next step, right? That would be a higher dimension, right? So we will be in the 3, right? So that would be the baby, the kid, the adult. And then when you step into a higher dimension or a different galaxy or whatever, that would be the 6. So that would be the embryo, the baby, the kid, the teenager, the adult, the elder. And then once you break that down, you go into a different dimension, which creates that one, right? There's 3 to everything. So you have the 3, 6, the 9, and then it repeats. So the 9th one, right? Or whatever, that you could break that down. You could break the embryo down, right? Because before the embryo even comes into existence, right? You have 3 different trimesters of the pregnancy, right? Before the baby gets brought into existence, aka before you bring that whatever, before it gets here, right? There's energies. Energy is just matter that isn't physically seen, that we can't physically see. Just because we can't physically see it here doesn't mean that it's not physically real in a altered world, or a world that actually puppet strings this one. So if you understand what world puppet strings this one, then you can control this one better, in a sense. You get what I'm saying? You're not lost in the consciousness. That's what it means to be lost in the consciousness. So like for an example, dreams, right? So dreams, that's in the dream world, what? Things move faster. Everything moves faster. When you go to sleep, time starts moving faster, right? So that's just letting you know right there that the dream world kind of puppets this one. This is why if you have like a DMT trip, they say that world might be more real or something like that. Or if you have a dream or something like that, or you can see things before they happen. Sometimes you daydream. When you daydream and you drift off, you get a premonition. It comes to you, and then boom, you see it before it happens, right? Same thing with dreams, right? You may have a dream that feels super real. It feels so real that it wakes you up. It feels more real than the reality, to the point it'll wake you up out of your sleep, and you'll be like, damn. So it's understanding that too, right? So, or overstanding everything. And like I said, right, so the embryo, so when we break it down into the 9th one, we went from 3, right? That would be here. Then you have 6. That would be the one above it, right? And then that would be like the dream world, right? And then above that, you would have the nothingness. Everything gets lighter. Everything is lighter and more expanded, right? So everything here, this would be the physical thing. Things are more heavier here. Everything it's a cup. This is a drink, right? So it's heavy. I'm heavy, right? We're all heavy. This is all density, right? And so this would be called in the 3. So then when you step above that, everything gets lighter. That's why when you have thoughts feel lighter than actual existence, right? But if you treat your thoughts as if they were heavy, then you see your reality start to change differently, right? This is why certain people, right, they're more prone to like things like panic attacks, because their thoughts, they don't understand how heavy their thoughts are. Or certain people are very negative. They don't understand how powerful, how heavy their thoughts actually are. Just because it's not physically, you can't physically hold it, doesn't mean it isn't heavy. So the more you understand that, the more you pay attention to your thoughts. You pay attention to your thought pattern. You pay attention to all this, because sooner or later it all brings into physicality. You get what I'm saying? So it's being able to see the lightest form, the lightest frequency as a heaviness. The more you know how to treat the lightest frequency as if it's heavy, the more you start to experience the manifestation here, because you understand it before it even trickles down into the heavy form, right? Let me see what we come to these realizations from years of constant thought, deeper into everything which we reach, we can see. Yes, facts, right? And then boom, right? You have the embryo. So this is the 9. So you have 3 trimesters to a pregnancy, right? So when you get pregnant, you have what? It's 9 months. So when you break the 9 down into 3 different sections, you have 3 different trimesters of the pregnancy, right? So this is just letting you know everything is just a physical. It's just the before it comes into physicality. There's a step before it. So the pregnancy, right? This is 9 months. So you have 3 trimesters. So this is letting you know how things get manifested. So, right, the first trimester of the pregnancy, right? This is when the sperm cell goes to the egg, right? So this is letting you know right here. This is the germ phase. This is the germ phase. So this could be, and I'm gonna relate it to how other things too, but I'm gonna make it make sense, right? So in the first stage of the pregnancy, the sperm cell goes to the egg cell, right? This is called the germ phase. So then they become one, right? So this is one. Understand, before you can even come into the existence, everything it starts off, it has 3 layers, right? But before you can get to 3, there's a 0. 0 is nothing, right? No thing, right? And when you think of 0, it's nothing. If you have 0 of something, you have nothing of something, right? So that's you, that's the spirit, that's the nothing, that's the darkness, right? So then after that, you create the what? Which would be you create the unisex, right? So this is when the sperm cell and the egg cell come together. So now they become one, right? One. Now it's whole. Now it's whole. And before it could even choose a gender, right? Now it's whole when the sperm cell comes together. Then after this, that's when it starts to build the head and the eyebrows and the body, right? So this would be building the body. And then it breaks off into actually adding weight. This is where the nutrients, this is where eating healthy comes into play, because then you're adding the weight, you're adding the nutrients to the baby. So then now within this 4th stage, before it gets brought out, the 3rd trimester of the pregnancy, this is when you can start to see it show. So this is how things get brought into reality. You see it show. So now what you're feeding, what you just developed, is now how you feed it is now developing into the physical form. You start to see it, right? So then that's when it gets pushed out. So the fire would be the nothing, right? The spirit, right? And then it will be, the fire would create the water. So fire would just be the imagination, right? And then the water would be the feeling, right? And I could break this down even more into the zodiac signs, because every element has an actual sign in it. So you can break this down even more, but I'm not gonna do all that. So you have fire, that would be the imagination. Then you have water, this will be the emotion, and then you get an emotion, a feeling behind something, and then it will become the air, would turn into a thought, and then the thought trickles down into earth, and that would be the material of things. You get what I'm saying? The material of things. So then you can break this down even more. So the nothing, right, that creates the one, the unisex, and then the feminine, right, this is the subconscious, right, and then the masculine, right. So when you have things like religion and shit like this, religion, it teaches you to worship the man, the physical existence, what you can see. And when I say religion, it's not just religion. Everything in this matrix or system or whatever you want to call it, it's all basically formulated within the same thing. They all running by the same systems, the same they all run by the same type of mentality, the same overlord. They all have the same overlord. You can go from religion to politics to psychology to psychologists to everything, right? They all have the same mentality, the same thing that controls it. So, and what it's teaching you to do is worship what you're being seen, worship the masculine, worship that. So when you worship the masculine, understand you're in its heaviest form. That's what it means to be hellistic. When you think of hell, they tell you you're going to hell, right? They need to look at themselves, but when people tell you you're going to hell, that's the lowest frequency. That's the lowest vibration. So that's what's heavy. So they're making you worship that to the point where you can't see above that. So they're keeping you in that box in a sense, so you can't see above that. Above that would be the feminine, right? So everything, this is why women are lighter. Women typically tend to be lighter than men, right? Because they're higher. Everything has an energy signature behind it before it gets manifested, right? So this is why women are lighter, right? They tend to be lighter in frequency, right? So, and this goes into food, right? The lighter you eat, the closer you are to spirit, the closer you are to the source. Because this is why people fast. This is why when you read the Bible or something like that, it's letting you know they fasted, and then you getting closer to the source. That's how you follow intuition, silence, right? All noises is heavy, right? The higher frequency sounds, songs without like so much 808 or so much kick and stuff like that. The higher frequency sounds, they get you more connected to the source in a sense. And that's the intuition realm, the crown chakra. You get what I'm saying? And then it's also understanding So religion is going to teach you to understand that. So worship what you being seen. So a lot of times, or instead of seeing your darkness, you get what I'm saying? Instead of seeing your darkness, if a Virgo is a feminine sign, does it make them lighter? Virgo is a feminine sign, but it's also an earth sign, right? And earth is in the lowest, in a low frequency. So it's definitely good for Virgos. I'm a Virgo myself, so it's definitely good for Virgos to actually get into spirituality and stuff like that, because earth signs in general, because a lot of times we tend to be disconnected from that in a sense, because, you know what I'm saying, being an earth sign, fire signs naturally have these in themselves. They naturally understand spirituality before an earth sign. That doesn't mean they understand it more, but they naturally do, because they're closer to that. Or a water sign would understand it more. Earth and air signs, it's better for them to get into that. You know what I'm saying? But we know how to make sense of it. Sometimes the fire and water signs, they don't know how to make sense of certain things, but we can kind of help them make sense of it. So it's all a yin and yang, and it's understanding everybody has earth elements in them. Everybody has fire elements. Everybody has all these different elements in them, right? That's just certain sun signs and stuff like that. So it's also looking at your chart as well. And also going to talk about, so yeah, everything has an energy signature behind it. So, and it's also looking at religion, right? So religion is teaching you to be what? Plugged into, their source. They don't want you, religion or the matrix or whatever, it's an egoic factor. So it's a lot of ego, right? Ego just means, wanting to drain the power out of people. So how you actually free people from the matrix is you show them the power within themselves, right? I made another video about how to disconnect from the matrix. Check that out on YouTube too, or Matrix 101. But they want to keep the power to themselves. So what happens here is, as long as they keep the power, you never realize how much power you have. So then you're never, so they keep you plugged in, right? This is what it means to unplug from the matrix. They keep you plugged in because they're harnessing your power. So they never allow you to see yourself as the source, the God, in a sense, right? If you can't see yourself as the source, as the God, the creation, the source of your creation, then in a sense you're still in the matrix, because you're plugged in. So after death, that's why they want to keep you plugged in, because after death, if you're plugged into that, how can you, after death, where you think you're going to go? You're going to go right back there. You're going to go right back into the system, right back into the 3D, the physical existence, the masculine. This is why they teach you to worship the masculine. They want to keep you here in the holistic state. So when you realize that you're the source, right, the spirit, and you're the source, when you die, you can go wherever. You get what I'm saying? You're free because you're not plugged into it. That's why I could die right now and just be like, whatever, I serve my purpose. You get what I'm saying? And we're putting the power into the people, and anybody who's under the system, anybody who's under this, right, they feel the need to, because when you're under something, right, when you're being puppet stringed by something, that's actually puppet stringing you. So even unconsciously, you may be draining energy from other people. Playing with the puppet is wanting you to do. So it goes deep with the program, right? It goes deep with how you've been programmed. If you understand how you've been programmed, the environments you're in and all this, you have to literally fight. You have to fight through those programs just to unprogram yourself. You have to fight through all those programs just to unprogram yourself. So that's what, and so when you do that, when you fight through all the programs, you sit above all that. So you're able to see things before they come into physical existence. You understand how things get manifested, right? And so that's what all this is designed to do, keep you worshiping them, right? And what else we gonna talk about? So in all this is teaching you to worship the light, right? That's why in religion they always talk about light, right? But it's actually getting to your darkness. You get what I'm saying? It's actually getting to your darkness, because, right, when you think of light, this is what hits the eyes, right? So this is the physical existence. This is what's light. This is the lights is heavier. So the darks is lighter. The spirit, that's nothing. That's dark. When you think of nothing, you think of black, right? So you're nothing, right? But you create the light in a sense. So when you understand the darkness, you can create your own light, create your own reality, create this. So we understand what derives. So they want you to worship the light, so that way you can never create your own. You can never get to your darkness. It's all cores, right? Like I said, you have 9 different layers. So there's different cores end up peeling back to being able to create things for yourself. When you create the light, you see a lot of moths start to come, right? In a sense, that's what happens when it get dark. You know what I'm saying? They don't want you to get to your darkness. You know what I'm saying? They want to keep you in the light. They don't want you to get to your darkness, because when you get to the darkness, you start to see all the moths and stuff like that. We don't want the moths. We want to teach how to create your own light, in a sense. You get what I'm saying? That's getting to your core, right? So they want you to worship the light so you can never get to your core. Understand your true self. You get what I'm saying? Because a lot of times if you worshiping different, or if you under certain programs or you under certain lights, you're not truly yourself, because what? You're not truly yourself because you being puppet trained, in a sense. You're not truly yourself because you under the programs and shit, right? And what else we gonna talk about? So all this religion or all the matrix is trying to keep you from seeing all that, from seeing your true self. So that would be the core. So if we break that down, that would be the core. Let me read this too. So that would be the core, right? So if you pay attention to the ground, right? You have the ground, right? This would be the physical representation of things. You have the sky, right? This would be the thought. This would be the thought pattern. Then you have outer space. That would be the feeling behind it. So there's different layers. So you have the molten core. You got different cores underground. In the sky, you have different atmospheres, and then in outer space, you have different all this, right? And this is even making sense even more, because you understand everything outside you is really just a representation of in you. There's different layers. Like outer space is lighter in frequency. Again, outer space is lighter in frequency. When you go to outer space, when you see people, the astronauts, what they doing, they floating, right? So it's getting to that space where you feel that light. You feel that light to where you're floating, in a sense. And then you understand what so it all derives from a feeling. That would be the water, right? The outer space, that would be the water, and then the air, that would be the clouds, right? So that would be the air, that would be the thought, and then the earth will be the masculine, the physical representation. So that's just letting you know right there that the water, the feeling creates the thought. So you have to have, and then the fire will be the intuition, which creates the thought, the crown. And that helps you generate stronger spirituality and will, being able to fight things. Yep, and that definitely shows a strong spirit as well, right? So when you understand that, right, you understand how to kind of alter things. You see things before they come, and when you're in that light of a frequency, right? When you're in that light of a frequency, when you're in that outer space astronaut type frequency, you see that everything be trying to pull you down. If you in outer space, right, you see things be trying to pull you down. You see, or if you in the sky, this is how gravity works, right? So it's having that strong mentality, a strong spirit, to where it's all really tests when you think about it. Everything is trying to kind of hold you down into the lowest frequency. So the more you learn how to just rise above all that, because things are always going to happen. Things are always going to happen and try and pull you down. But the more you learn how to just rise above that, the quicker you understand how to put depth to things and then add transformation. The quicker you understand how to just level up. It's all levels. You get what I'm saying? Everything happens in the energy world, or in the other dimensions, or whatever you want to call it, before it actually happens here. You get what I'm saying? So when people teach you to worship what's being seen, or worship the masculine, worship what you see, or worship all this, you don't understand. You can't actually change your own reality, because you're going to always look to the outside, the physical world, for help, right? This is why this is where growth comes in, right? And this is where I'm speaking from the source. And I'm speaking from the source. I'm speaking from the source. I'm speaking from the source. I'm not speaking from a religion. I'm not speaking what nobody else is telling me. I'm not speaking from no program. I'm speaking from the source. So when I'm speaking from the source, I'm speaking from me. Sometimes I just be sitting back talking, and people be like, damn, he dropping gems. Really, I just be talking. This is why I make these videos. I go back and I listen to my own shit, so that way I'm not just one of these people out here talking and not actually listening to my own advice. Because that's what religion had you doing. It'll have you reading shit, listening to shit, and then just pushing it out to other people, not even taking your own advice. I'm speaking from a source. I'm not speaking from another source. I'm speaking from me. So I can sit back and I may drop some gems. I may rewatch this shit and be like, damn, I dropped some gems. I need to take my own advice. You get what I'm saying? That's what it's all about too, as well. But anyways, before it even comes into physical existence, they teach you to worship what's being seen, the physicality. So people like to judge the physical representation behind things, not even seeing the energy signature, the birth of why the flower got planted in that place in a certain, why the flower even has dirty petals, or why the flower is seen this way. We altering shit from the realm that you can't see. So when things teach you to worship what's being seen, if you're only seeing what's being seen and not the energy signature behind it, you can't actually alter your own reality. In a sense, you can't make things happen for yourself, because you don't understand how things actually trickle down into the heaviness before it gets manifested, if that makes sense. That's what the fuck I wanted to get on here and talk about, for real. And because everything has an energy signature behind it, and that's what it's all about. We not just looking, we looking at everything. We looking at food. Certain foods have energy signatures behind it. You're putting everything you putting into your body, it has an energy signature behind it. I'm not saying be vegan. I'm not saying be none of that. And it's not good to eat heavy either, because when you eat heavy, you're not in the lightest form, closest to the spirit. You know what I'm saying? We're not eating to get full. We just eating to survive, in a sense. So that way we in the lightest frequency. Is why people fast, like I said. But it's just understanding everything has an energy signature behind it. That's what we get into. That's what it's about, seeing everything. Every food has an energy signature behind it. If you put a certain food in your body, you know it's gonna do certain things to your body. We all understand this. It's just we not understanding for ourselves. We not looking at everything. I can look at a motherfucking a cup, nigga. I can look at a cup and be like, okay, what's the cup? A cup has an energy signature behind it. This drink has an energy signature behind it. I have an energy signature behind it. Everything in physicality has an energy signature behind it. You get what I'm saying? Everything you can see, everything you can feel, everything you can smell, all this shit, it has an energy signature behind it. So that's what it's about. That's what spirituality is about. It's about seeing not the physical existence. I think I've kind of touched into this enough. I broke this shit down super a lot. Like super a lot. Right? Your mind has 3 layers. Your mind has 3 layers. You have the baby. Before you can even receive a thought or an imagination, some type of vision or something to do, it comes from. You gotta understand where that shit's even coming from. So you sit above the part where you even understand where the fuck you receiving thoughts from. You know what I'm saying? You sitting above that shit, so you able to see where the fuck you even receiving certain thoughts from. Why you even receiving certain thoughts? So that's being above the subconscious level. A lot of people gonna teach you how to control your thoughts. It's about controlling the thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Sitting in that state of awareness of nothingness. When you have nothing on your mind, that's when everything comes to you. That's the intuition stage. That's the God level. That's the nothingness. You know what I'm saying? When you think too much, when you think too much, that's being heavy. When you think too much, when you're in the state of being in nothingness, that's when you receive everything. You can think so much. That's why people sometimes go insane and shit, because you think too much. You got to know how to put yourself above that realm in the nothingness and just receive the thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Receive the thoughts. But what else with the fuck? I think that's all I really want to talk about. I done broke this shit all the way the fuck down. If anybody else got any questions, I'm going to actually scroll through the comments, because I've just been talking. I've been forgetting the comment section. Yeah, symbolism. Definitely symbolism, bro. But before there's even a symbol, there's an energy signature behind the symbol. So a lot of times this is why people are being programmed and they don't even know how they're being programmed, because they're just seeing the symbol. Everything has a fucking, like I said, an energy signature behind it. So you have symbolism. A lot of people are throwing symbols in your face and you don't even understand what the fuck the symbol means. You don't even, they're programming you from the physicality. You don't even see what the fuck they're programming. Or you don't even understand what energy signature that symbol has behind it. So you being programmed and you're not even knowing it, because you're not understanding why that symbol, what purpose that symbol serves. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if you look at movies, if you look at anything, if you look at anything. All these symbols are there in a reason. All these things are being pushed into your face for a reason. A cross, it has a certain energy signature behind it. Jesus, this has a certain energy signature behind it. All this shit has a fucking energy signature behind it, my nigga. How the fuck you think you got here? And if you think I'm lying, look at yourself. You have a certain energy signature behind you. Your accent, that's your birthplace. Your birthplace will be your energy signature. Why you have that accent in the first place. A lot of y'all getting lost in the accents to the point you're not seeing. I start getting frustrated and shit. Let me scroll through these the comments. So you have to feel it actually to manifest it. Yeah, this is why they say that. This is why they say that. And another thing, laughter is lighter in frequency, right? I be laughing about shit. I be laughing at my own struggles. I don't be laughing about nobody else's struggle. I be laughing at my own struggles, right? When you, like, all struggles, it's a heavy frequency, right? So when you laugh, that's showing that you're rising above it. That's a lighter frequency, laughter, right? It heals, right? It's why comedy is so powerful. It heals. So if you can laugh at things, you're showing that shit right there. I ain't laughing at nobody else's struggles. That's showing that you're actually rising above that situation. You're letting that struggle go. You know what I'm saying? Or not everything's meant to be laughed at, but if you can see the goodness in it, if you can see how it made you stronger, that's showing that you're rising above that. You're rising out of that situation, and everything that happened there in a different realm first before it happens here. So that's showing, if you can laugh at something, that's showing that your spirit is getting stronger and you're detaching from that situation, and everything that happens spiritually in that realm first happens first there, and then it happens here. You get what I'm saying? This is why it's good to laugh at certain things, to laugh. If people don't want you to laugh, I laugh at my own struggles. If someone's telling me not to laugh at my own shit, I don't give a fuck what happened. If someone's telling me not to laugh at my own shit, they're trying to hold me in that space. They're trying to hold me in that negative space. They don't want me to rise above that. You want to get away from people like that. You don't want to be around people who always want you, who's always looking at that shit. You want people that'll help you make fun of your shit. Maybe not make fun of shit for you, because that's dickish, that's assholish. But if you could have people help you make fun of the shit, that's showing that you're rising out of that space. You know what I'm saying? I just be getting lost in the thought and shit. But yeah, I'm finna get off this shit. I just broke down all this shit, how everything even trickles down into that realm, into physicality. I just broke all this shit down, bro. I'm finna slide off. If anybody got any questions, let me know. But literally, everything is just a representation. Like, bro, this shit's crazy. This shit's crazy. I'm finna go back and watch my own shit, so that way I'm taking my own advice, nigga, because I might have dropped some shit I need to listen to. You know what I'm saying? I'm off this shit. Love y'all.